Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life is finally out, a remake of Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life that was definitely one of my favorites in the series. In fact, it was the second Harvest Moon game I ever played as a young child, predecessed by Back to Nature and followed by Friends of Mineral Town, which I eventually played in tandem with A Wonderful Life to get the bonus content, which hasn't really returned in the remake, at least not in the form that it was. It seems like you can still get all the records, just in a different way. Today we'll be talking about my first impressions of the game, taking into account the entire first season and a couple days after that. That's about as far as I've gotten so far, so that's all I have to go off of. I am thinking about making a more complete review when I've completed the game or I've gotten much farther, and then I can experience more of the content and make a more thorough analysis. So let's dive right in, shall we? Without going in too far, I'll start off by saying I like this game so far. It's hecka cute and runs smooth, at least on PC. And it just looks really nice. There are a ton of quality of life fixes for the game, and it seems like they've grabbed up all the content from the various versions, so it doesn't seem to be missing anything. However, it is a bit hard to tell because they've also made some larger changes to the game to make it more similar to the other games. However, it seems like it's an overall net positive because they definitely made the farming better, and at least more worthwhile. The graphics of the game received a huge overhaul. It's lost a bit of its more muted, realistic look in favor of a more colorful and vibrant one. It looks gorgeous nonetheless with this new art style. All the character models and objects look great, and the scenery has gotten a nice glow up too. It does look different, but I feel like they did a great job keeping the game faithful to the original. We have a much more free camera now that lets us look around in more angles than before, and we have options to adjust how it works. The button layout is intuitive and it's easy to switch between tools and items. This part of the game has received a much bigger overhaul than some of the other areas of the game. This seems to be the most changed part overall, as it doesn't seem like they attempted to make it look like the old one. The menu is also completely different and it gives you a lot more information about everything. Now you can see all the affection of each one of the townspeople, and I like that all the information is available to me, but part of me really liked having to go to the diaries of the marriage candidates and figure out how much they liked you that way. Now it's much more convenient to know the information, but also isn't as, I guess, realistic as snooping in a diary. One of the other things that I noticed is that in this version of the game there's a lot more tutorials, but you can actually skip most of them. They pop up and they kind of tell you that you can read about X, Y, and Z, and they pop up the menu, but they don't actually make you read everything. So you can even opt out of doing the introductions at the start of the game. Most of the mechanics are the same as the original, but I heard that the cows can always give you at least one milk. So you don't have to breed them, but you're going to lose out on a lot of milk if you don't. I noticed that there are a few other changes around the farm, like the fridge and the shipping bin are now outside, but that's one less loading screen I suppose, so I'll take it. The tool shed is also moved and doesn't work the same way as the old one. Now it's mostly a storage container. The unused building that was off to the side of the chicken coop is gone. I was hoping I'd get to see what was inside of there, but now I'll never know. In this version of the game, you wake up at 6 AM every day. This is a change I don't really like, because I liked how in the old one, every day seemed to be continuous, and you needed an alarm clock to choose when to wake up. I liked it that way before, because if you went to bed early, you'd wake up in the middle of the night. Every day didn't feel completely separated like it does now, which is why the plants and animals needed to be cared for every X hours. I sorta liked it the way it was before, where you could go to bed early and wake up in the middle of the night. Every day felt completely continuous. It didn't feel separated like it does now. Every plant and animal had to be cared for every X number of hours instead of every day, which they seem to have kept like that now, except you wake up at 6 AM, so it kinda defeats the purpose. There's something magical about waking up at 3 or 2 in the morning and just wandering around in the middle of the night. With this new system, I just don't think that's gonna happen. However, it doesn't ruin the game for me, it's just something that I noticed and I was kinda sad about. Basically everything is a big improvement gameplay-wise. The farm fields are bigger, and there's more of them. It's easier and faster than ever to take care of your crops, and it seems like they rebalanced the pricing to make farming actually worthwhile, which means this is the first time I won't solely focus on ranching and fishing like I did as a kid. It also seems like there's going to be tool upgrades. I didn't mention it earlier, but now you can fully customize your characters from the classic look to a completely new one. You can choose your pronouns regardless of appearance, and you can marry whoever you want. I'm really glad they did this in the remake. So far, everything about the game is just wonderful, and I adore this game, and I'm already falling in love with it all over again. This game puts me in my happy place, and it reminds me of the feelings I felt as a child. So, if you played the first one, I'd pick this one up, and if you didn't, I'd still pick this one up. It's a solid game. This game shows so much promise, and I can feel the love that went into it. That's all I can think about right now, but I already really like this game, and I think it's going great. So thank you all for watching. If you want to support my channel and help me make more videos like this, consider supporting me on Patreon or becoming a member of the channel using the YouTube membership option, just like Adam Sauce and Kurotori. So, see you next time.